दोस्तों नमस्कार। आज हम बेहद खास मेहमान से बात कर रहे हैं। कोरोना की जो ग्लोबल क्राइसिस है उसके बारे में और जो हिंदुस्तान का पर्सपेक्टिव है वो हम लेंगे डॉक्टर मेहुल मेहता से, जो अल्ब्राइट स्टोन ब्रिज ग्रुप के चीफ मेडिकल ऑफिसर हैं। अल्ब्राइट वही मैडेलिन अल्ब्राइट जो कि फॉर्मर यूएस सेक्रेटरी ऑफ स्टेट रही हैं। एक बहुत बड़ी स्ट्रेटेजिक कंसल्टेंसी फर्म है, दुनिया भर में कई विषयों में ये लोग काम करते हैं। और खास बात यह है कि डॉक्टर मेहता जो हैं वो मुंबईकर है, मुंबई से काम करके ये दुनिया की कई जगहों में गए हैं, सरकारों को सलाहें देते हैं और बहुत सारे जो हेल्थ के सब्जेक्ट हैं उससे जुड़े हुए हैं। सर, आपने हमारे लिए वक्त निकाला, आपका बहुत शुक्रिया। आप अभी बहुत सारे कामों में व्यस्त हैं। अमेरिका, ग्लोबल सिचुएशन और हिंदुस्तान की सिचुएशन, इस पर अगर हम आपसे एक पर्सपेक्टिव समझना चाहें, कई महीने गुजर गए, अभी ये जो हेल्थ इमरजेंसी, हेल्थ क्राइसिस है, वो वर्ल्ड उसमें कहां पर खड़ा है, इंडिया उसमें कहां पर खड़ा है?
ये जो पैंडेमिक सब जगह फैले हुए है, all countries are trying to find ways to contain it. And where we are today is that if you think of how can you manage this pandemic, you must step back and realize that we are dealing with a virus that is new to the human body. And therefore, the human body doesn't have currently the ability to fight it. Because it's spread as a pandemic, different countries that are at different stages. And the only option we have today to manage it is to be able to contain it. Because it's a virus and because it needs to spread from one person to another, it really needs to be, this cycle needs to be broken. And the only way to break the cycle is to first create a situation where it doesn't spread in the community. And that's why you see the reaction, हिंदुस्तान में जो reaction आया है ये lockdown का, उसका मकसद वही है. You don't want to have the community spread. You don't want to spread to people. Why do you socially distance? Because we know the virus spreads through droplets, and by separating people out, you actually prevent the virus from going from one person to another. These droplets are inhaled, and they spread through first the respiratory system. They can also be spread through things you touch. So we have to keep all these measures in place. And because the droplets are inhaled, we put masks on. So the global situation is that every country is at a different place. Countries that have tested and have been able to identify those who are sick, जो मरीज है, उनको उन्होंने सोसाइटी में से आइसोलेट किया है. टेस्टिंग एक बहुत बड़ी चीज है. All countries need to test. That's the only way we'll know who has it and who doesn't. But the first reaction or the first action is to prevent its community spread.
तो चूंकि नंबर सभी जगह ये एफर्ट हुआ कि कम्युनिटी स्प्रेड ना हो, टेस्टिंग पर ज्यादा फोकस किया जाए, लेकिन जिस तरीके से नंबर बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, तो क्या यूएस का केस हो या इंडिया का, ये कहना सही होगा साइंस के हिसाब से कि कम्युनिटी स्प्रेड के फेज में हम ऑलरेडी नहीं हैं?
सभी जगह कम्युनिटी स्प्रेड चल रही है, कम्युनिटी स्प्रेड चालू है. It is not possible to say there is no community spread because you don't have the virus coming in from outside anymore. It is sitting in the community and it is spreading. Where we cannot socially distance, where people are staying close together, we know that that is a factor where the spread is faster. So आप देखेंगे दुनिया भर में जहाँ जहाँ देशों में स्प्रेड हो रहा है, वो वहीं जगह से हो रहा है जहाँ लोग इकट्ठे साथ में रहते हैं, and they cannot spread out. What is the current strategy? The only strategy we currently have is to separate people so the virus cannot find another host. The virus needs a human host. While this is happening, lots of other efforts are going on. There is one immediate effort is to look at medications that we already have and to reapply them to coronavirus to see if they work. और एक ऐसा दवाई है रेमडेसिविर नाम का जो अभी अप्रूव हुआ है. The second effort is to create what are called specific antibodies that will attack the virus. They are called monoclonals. उसका भी बहुत काम चल रहा है. और थर्ड है वैक्सीन. वैक्सीन को तो टाइम लगेगा, मगर इतनी गति से सब चल रहा है दुनिया भर में. द स्पीड एट विच साइंस इज हैपनिंग हैज नेवर बीन seen before. And so we hope that within a year there will be a vaccine also.
सर, हिंदुस्तान के बारे में कहा जाता है कि हम लोगों ने दुनिया का सबसे सीवियर लॉकडाउन किया. कोशिश यही थी कि कर्व को फ्लैटन करें और ये फैल ना पाए. एक तरफ तो ये बात है, दूसरी तरफ हम लोग एक फेटलिस्टिक किस्म के लोग हैं, तो ये भी लगता है कि ये हेल्पलेसनेस है, शायद नहीं हो पाएगा, अब ये तो फैलेगा ही. हिंदुस्तान में इतनी बड़ी आबादी है, डेंस पॉपुलेशन है, स्लम्स है, क्या करें? थोड़ा हिंदुस्तान के बारे में बताइए कि क्या तो हम लोग सही समझ रहे हैं और कहां हमारे समझ में गलती है, वो समझाइए.
देखिए, हिंदुस्तान में कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं था. When this was very clear that this was a pandemic. In fact, one could argue that this action should have been taken earlier. But the first action is to try and stop the spread as much as possible. If you see the size of the country and you see the rate at which this virus can spread, that though the numbers are large, in comparison to the country's size, they are not that large. And the idea is, can you keep it? Because should the virus spread across India, and should this be uncontained, then that outcome would be terrible. And the outcome is not only terrible for the number of people who fall sick, but कितने लोग मरेंगे और इकोनॉमी के ऊपर जो इम्पैक्ट होगा वो बहुत ही सीवियर होगा. ऑलरेडी है लॉकडाउन से, and that is what I think everybody is realizing. So because there is no other approach at this stage, we had to do, or the countries have to have severe curtailment. With the curtailment, as the curve drops and the rate of spread drops, एक number है called R0 and RT, R0 and RT. That means how many people are being infected by one infected person. That number has to come down under 1. That means if I am infected, I don't infect more than one person. Then you have started to contain it. Once you contain it, then you can strategically open up and say, this population is protected, this population, if it comes back, we have to contain it more. But at the first instance, when it is spreading this fast, what option is there but to actually prevent its spread? And that's the only tool we have currently.
तो अब जब इंडिया में हमने 25 मार्च से लॉकडाउन शुरू किया और अब 4th लॉकडाउन फेज में जाने की तैयारी है विद सम रिलैक्सेशन, तो यहां थोड़ा सा हम लोगों को ये कंफ्यूजन है कि अब टेक्निकली कहने को लॉकडाउन होगा और बहुत ज्यादा चीजें ग्रेडेड ढंग से खोल दी जाएंगी, इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी शुरू कर दी जाएंगी, तो क्या वो रिस्की नहीं होगा, या दरअसल अभी लॉकडाउन और लंबा चलेगा, शायद लॉकडाउन फेज 4 के बाद कुछ तक भी हमको जाना पड़ सकता है?
See, every country that has had to do a lockdown has then had to test. If you don't test, you don't know who is safe, who is infected. Testing me is not 100% accurate. We know that. And there are two forms of testing. Testing people confuse. They call everything testing. One is to test the presence of the virus, which is a throat swab. And one is to test the blood to see whether the blood is producing immunity against the virus and how the blood is reacting, that those immunoglobulins. We have to test because if you don't test, you don't know how many people are safe, how many people are infected, and how many people are immune. Once you know that a person is immune, you can allow them back to society. Currently, we are not even clear what levels of immunoglobulins confer immunity. That's also being looked at. But we do know that if you have immunoglobulins, you have been exposed and you are somewhat immune. And if you have the active virus, then you are at risk and you take them out. And if you don't have either, then you have to continue to be safe, but you are in a position where if the environment is safe, you can do something. So at least in the absence of testing, you are actually flying blind.
एब्सोल्युटली. सो इंडिया का जो टेस्टिंग के बारे में अभी सिचुएशन है, उसमें डिबेट यही है कि हम धीरे धीरे बढ़ा रहे हैं, डेली का कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि 2 लाख थोड़ा उसके ऊपर टेस्ट कर लें, लेकिन बहुत धीरे से शुरुआत हुई थी उसकी. आपको लगता है कि इंडिया इज डूइंग वेल एज फार एज टेस्टिंग इज कंसर्न्ड और वी आर फार बिहाइंड द कर्व?
Testing has to increase everywhere. India's problem, USA's problem. We have to follow countries that have done testing at such a high level, like South Korea, like Germany, like Taiwan, like Hong Kong, like Singapore. We have to test because it, it's not complicated to understand that when you don't know if a person is infective or not, then you act and you release them into society, then you actually create a much bigger problem. So all the efforts of lockdown then start getting watered down. It's important to also know that a person can have no symptoms and can actually pass the virus. And every person who's going to have symptoms, 2 days, approximately 2 days before they have symptoms, they are infected. So in the absence of knowing, you don't know whether the strategy you're employing is a safe strategy or not. So testing has to occur, and there's no question that in the absence of testing, there will be the hotspots. There will be spikes.
बिल्कुल। तो ये अगर हम समझना चाहें आपसे कि टेस्टिंग के मामले में आप इंडिया को कब कहेंगे आपके पैरामीटर के हिसाब से कि हाँ ये सेटिस्फैक्टरी लेवल है, 5 लाख 10 लाख पर डे, किसको एक बेंचमार्क माना जाए कि इंडिया इज डूइंग ओके? क्योंकि अभी सब लोगों को बेचैनी यही है कि टेस्टिंग कम हो रही है, क्योंकि अब ज्यादा टेस्ट करेंगे तो नंबर ज्यादा आएंगे।
I think India is such a large country that as you look at where the current concentration of the hotspots are, right, and those are the critical economic engines, I think testing has to increase huge numbers there, because that is the, in a remote part, should you test the same amount as you test in Bombay? No, you have to increase the test as a quantum leap. So if you're asking me number kya hai, it's very difficult to say. But I think that has to be done region by region, and that has to be analyzed, and then you have to apply the testing strategies at that place. At the end of the day, the whole country needs to be tested.
So since we are very close to the place or the events, sometimes our view could be colored. But from a distance, what do you think is happening in places like Bombay, Ahmedabad, Surat, the parts of Tamil Nadu? Now we know that red zone or hotspot zones are very clear, and they are limited geographies. So can test be done at the war footing? Is it happening? Is it not happening?
I don't know. I don't know. From a distance, it doesn't seem like there is testing happening. There's no question. There's much more testing that's happened before, but it's inadequate. And I think in order to open up, at the end of the day, if you think of a business anywhere in the world, or if you think of a school, or think of a university, they will feel comfortable when they know that people coming back have been tested. And remember, testing is not once. So मैंने क्या बताया कि टेस्टिंग की फ्रीक्वेंसी और जो अमाउंट है, ये बोथ दोनों बढ़ना चाहिए, क्योंकि the test is only done in one point in time. You don't know what's going to happen. So if you assume कि 2 हफ्ते पहले टेस्ट किया था वो नेगेटिव था और अब का सिचुएशन वही है, वो गलत है. So testing frequency has to be there, and unless we test and till we get a treatment, till we get a vaccine, till we have a monoclonal, in the absence of that, our current status is that we can only open up safe components of the economy, whether it's India or any country. Right. That's the ideal way. And the only way you will know that it's safe is when you have tested.
राइट अभी आपने जिक्र किया था ब्रीफली कि रेमडेसिविर या जो दूसरे तरीके ढूंढे जा रहे हैं और वैक्सीन में तो समय लगेगा। इस मामले में इंडिया को आप कहाँ देखते हैं, क्योंकि ये तो एक ग्लोबल एफर्ट चल रहा है। आपने उस दिन मुझे अपनी बातचीत में बताया था बहुत अच्छे से कि इस वक्त साइंस और मेडिसिन का जो प्रोफेशन है पूरी दुनिया में हिस्टोरिक लेवल पे कोलैबोरेट कर रहा है, हालांकि पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप शायद उस तरीके से कोलैबोरेट नहीं कर रही है। उसमें इंडिया कहाँ है उस मैप में?
No, India is very much part of this collaboration, and I think data is being shared from all parts of the world. India is very active in what it's doing. I think we have some very good clinicians. We have some very good scientists. So all that is there. We don't have which everybody knows. What India needs much more of is a much stronger healthcare system, much stronger public health system. We are short of beds. We are short of really strong public health surveillance. We do a lot of it. So that's where a lot of countries are also short. India is not the only country. But in terms of discovery, at this stage, data is being shared all over. All countries are looking at it. India, for example, there's a discussion that does India have a greater degree of protection because it, BCG vaccine, whether that provides some sort of immune resistance, all that is being studied. So I don't think that at this stage one can say that one country is taking the lead over the other. I think data is coming from all over. Obviously, countries that have a strong research infrastructure, they've invested over the years, they have a big advantage. And I think the lessons that I think that have come out of this are healthcare matters, public health matters. Investment in those are actually important for any country's economic security. As we can see, every country is being hurt. Having that infrastructure really helps you to respond to situations like this. And then investment in our research efforts in the life sciences are very critical because at the end of the day, these are all human diseases. And solutions are going to come from human research, life science research on human conditions. And we have to invest much more.
राइट पब्लिक हेल्थ का आपने जिक्र किया, थोड़ा इस पे और हम आपसे समझना चाहेंगे कि आपने शॉर्टेज की बात बताई, तो अब इस इमरजेंसी के बाद, इस वार्निंग के बाद, अगर इंडिया का पब्लिक हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम फिक्स करना हो, रिसोर्स की दिक्कत है, रिसर्च में हम दुनिया के से पीछे हैं, भले उनके साथ चलने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, प्लस प्राइवेट सेक्टर को लेकर के एक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है या एक कंफ्यूजन है या एक रिजर्वेशन है, तो अगर अब इस इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन में आपने बिल्कुल ठीक कहा कि ये इकोनॉमिक सिक्योरिटी की तरह से इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया है हेल्थ सिक्योरिटी, तो इमीडिएट टास्क के तौर पर अगर आप एक छोटा सा ब्लूप्रिंट बनाना चाहें इंडिया के लिए, तो आपके वो पॉइंट्स क्या होंगे कि पब्लिक हेल्थ केयर में तुरंत क्या करना चाहिए हमको?
See, public health covers a lot of things. It not only covers public hospitals, but it also covers surveillance. It also covers prevention of disease. It also covers education. It also covers well-being. So this is a very large social sector effort. And to assume that government is only responsible is wrong. Government is doing its best it can, but government needs the hand of society and private sector. And we cannot have public-private divide. So one of the biggest things, and this is true in many parts of the world, that public sector and private sector both have to understand that healthcare is a joint responsibility. It cannot be only left to the government to say, this is public health, tuberculosis is public health, now this corona is public health. So private sector has stepped up. And I think we have very good examples that I want to also say in India of private sector doing amazing work that is impacting public good and public health. And the three examples I have given, मेरे field में तो 3 आँख के बड़े-बड़े hospital institution है, वो तो world renowned हो गए, LV प्रसाद, अरविंद और शंकर नेत्रालय. और फिर आप डॉक्टर देवी शेट्टी ने जो किया है नारायण हृदयालय में, that is also an iconic example, and there is a lot of public good coming out from all these people. So it's not that India has tremendous capacity. In fact, the world is looking at all these hospital systems and what they did. I think we have to develop our own solutions that work for India. This is one thing of the work that I have done all over the world I have learned. You see, Western solutions or solutions that work in other part of the world, we have to take lessons, but then Indianize it, apply it, and then think of it in the broadest sense. It cannot be only for one sector of society, one economic status. It has to be for the broader, greater good. In that, there has to be public-private solutions for public health. Even now, we are short of beds. We have to use private beds for coronavirus. We have to.
तो यहाँ की जो पब्लिक पॉलिसी मेकिंग है, जो पॉलिसी मेकर्स हैं इस वक्त, वो आपको कितने ओपन नजर आते हैं? क्योंकि ओवर द इयर्स आपने भारत में बहुत सारा काम किया है, इसलिए मैं समझना चाहता हूँ आपसे कि कितनी ओपननेस है कि बिल्कुल रीथिंक करना पड़ेगा हमारे हेल्थ पॉलिसी के आर्किटेक्चर को, और प्राइवेट सेक्टर को शायद इक्वल नहीं प्राइमेसी देने की जरूरत होगी.
See, I'll tell you my experience that there has been a very big change in the way the current government is thinking of healthcare. आपने देखा आयुष्मान भारत आ गया, that is very important, universal healthcare models. And I see a much greater realization and importance, at least in the work I have done, of addressing large healthcare problems in India. Diabetes देखो, ये कोरोना वायरस के पहले की बात है. Diabetes देखो, या तो mental health situation देखो, या maternal health देखो. So all this is positive news. Can things be done more? Can more be done? Lots more needs to be done. But at least for the first time, there's this, and this realization is only going to increase by every government now, not only this government, that healthcare is very important, and that securing good healthcare systems are actually critical for national growth and stability.
Right. In a right sense, I'm asking this. Do you see the north-south divide in India, as far as healthcare infrastructure is concerned, is a very worrisome area, and actually India needs to focus on all the backward states with more vigor?
Absolutely. I mean, I do work, I'm helping philanthropic organizations also free in eye care, and there is a great need. And north-south, when you say, it is true, in the south we have some really good health systems. It's not only the health systems, but it's also the way people are trained. It's also the dedication with which they do their work. In general, I have found that the level of healthcare in the south tends to be superior. We have some great examples in the north also, where they have married both infrastructure, people, and systems. See, healthcare is not just one thing. It's not just building a building. In fact, buildings do not deliver care, people do, and systems do. It's first people, then systems, then building. We are short of people. We are short of trained people. We have to expand our trained healthcare workforce. We have to bring in, all forms of healthcare workers, whether it's the Ayush worker or not, but train them, upskill them. We have to create systems of care, and we have to create solutions for large diseases, which we are doing, but actually do it at scale now. And this is the biggest reminder for us that we have to invest in healthcare holistically. And we have a very good pharma sector, but I think they need to be brought in so that they are part of the healthcare solution. And we leverage our strengths. And the other piece I want to say very much is that, a future of healthcare is going to be technology.
Yeah.
It's going to be digital care. It's going to be distributed care. And India, I see a lot of promise if India goes down that path, because we have a strong IT sector. And we can actually bring in AI, we can bring in solutions that is going to be the way care is today. If you think of coronavirus, mein kya hua hai? A lot of care is telemedicine. A lot of care is moved to remote care management. So those are the areas where I think future growth will be.
बिल्कुल, डिजिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर भी इक्वली इंपॉर्टेंट है एक अच्छे पब्लिक हेल्थ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को डिलीवर करने के लिए. सर, लास्ट क्वेश्चन आपसे. इस वक्त आप बिल्कुल इसको कहते हैं, यू आर इन द थिक ऑफ द थिंग्स, दुनिया के लेवल पे, यूएस के लेवल पे, इंडिया के लेवल पे. वो एक बड़ी खबर, वो एक बिग न्यूज जिसका होप और ऑप्टिमिज्म से आप इंतजार कर रहे हैं इन द फाइट अगेंस्ट कोरोना पैंडेमिक, वो खबर आपके दिमाग में सबसे बड़ी क्या है जिसका आपको सबसे ज्यादा इंतजार है?
एक्चुअली ट्रीटमेंट का इंतजार है, क्योंकि ट्रीटमेंट से ये पूरा पैंडेमिक विल ब्रेक. और ट्रीटमेंट में suppose we find a drug, and what's very interesting is so many drugs that we have used in the past are being looked at again, because they could actually be potentially very powerful, because we've used it in the past. We already know its safety. So thousands of drugs have been screened, and they've got some very interesting candidates. If we get a vaccine quickly, or if we get a monoclonal quickly, this entire thing will shift, especially if we have a very strong and efficacious vaccine. Remember, there won't be one vaccine. There will be many vaccines. And vaccine sabhi jagah pahunchna chahiye na. We have to have an equitable distribution. It's not that only big cities get vaccines. It has to be distributed so that it's equitable. But I think it's treatment and therapy. That's where science is going. That's where medicine is going. That will change this. Till then, we have to be smart, and we have to be careful, and we have to make sure this doesn't go out of hand. It's already terrible in how much it's destroyed people's lives, and people are sick. Many have died. So many have died.
Right. Sir, one more question, because you spoke about vaccine with some emphasis. मान लीजिए वैक्सीन आ गई, 2-4 तरह की आ गई, बिल्कुल सक्सेसफुल उसका एक्सपेरिमेंट हो गया, उसके बाद उसको स्पीड और स्केल के साथ पूरी दुनिया के लिए प्रोड्यूस करने की जरूरत होगी। हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं 4-5 बिलियन टीके अवेलेबल होने होंगे। उसकी जरूरत पड़े या ना पड़े, क्या दुनिया की सरकारें, दुनिया के पॉलिटिकल डिसीजन मेकर्स इस वक्त बैठ करके ये बात कर रहे हैं कि आइए हम लोग प्लांट और फैक्ट्री रेडी रखते हैं, अगर वैक्सीन आएगा तो तुरंत सबके लिए बनाएंगे। ये नहीं होगा कि अमीर देश को पहले, गरीब देश को बाद में, और गरीब देश को बिल्कुल बाद में, क्योंकि तब तक दुनिया नॉर्मली नहीं हो पाएगी।
नहीं, आपका कंसर्न ठीक है, बट व्हाट हैज हैपेंड, इफ यू सी दैट देयर इज ऑलरेडी अ कंसोर्शियम कॉल्ड CEPI, Consortium for Epidemic Preparedness and Innovation, and they are actually supporting close to 10 to 12 vaccines all over the world. And one of the basic premises is that not one group is given rights to make it, multiple groups are given rights. And in fact, some of the leading vaccine candidates, they have already started to manufacture, even before they know whether it's going to work or not. And I believe India में जो Serum Institute है पूना में, उन्होंने भी चालू किया है manufacturing. So people are realizing that this, if we don't distribute this equitably, then it's not only not good for people, but it's not good for preventing this from coming back. You see? So the idea is to keep production ready if it's possible. Now it's a big risk, because suppose the vaccine doesn't work, you have all this production. But as much as possible, keep things ready so that when the vaccines are successful, those vaccines, you can immediately move. But there will be time, it will take time. It's not that overnight you can move to billions and billions of people. And your point is well taken. Who gets it, who doesn't get it, that has to be based on science and medicine, and that cannot be a political decision. You have to be equitable, you have to be, have if a group needs it, it does not matter what their status is, what their economic power is, they should get it first. The most susceptible should get it first.
राइट सर। डॉक्टर मेहुल मेहता, आपने हमसे बातचीत की, अपने व्यस्त समय से समय निकाला, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।